Things happen, even in small towns.
Hello.
We have your daughter in our van?
They've got my daughter.
I just got this weird call from Sheraton that something's happened to Cameron.
Do you think it's necessary for me to cut off one of her body parts?
A kidnapper is about to kill her.
She said Cameron's been kidnapped.
I'm caught in every mother's nightmare, and I have no idea how to get out of it.
The text was probably the scariest part of it because you can't hear a voice.
They knew my every step.
If you hang up on this call, your daughter dies.
They got her at gunpoint.
He was pure evil. I knew I was never gonna see her again.
Sheraton Johnson has been on a terrifying 1-hour, 45-minute odyssey to save the life of her kidnapped 10-year-old daughter, Cameron. The child's father, Brian, has finally caught up with his ex-wife with some information.
Brian jumps out of his car. He says, "Sheraton, hang up the phone."
I fling the door open, and she's crying. I don't know what to do. And I said, "Get off the phone."
He says, "Sheraton, it's not real. Cameron is safe." I'm like, "No, she's been kidnapped. She's not safe." And he goes, "She's safe. She's at the gym."
My name is Cameron Johnson. On July 28th, 2016, I was never abducted. It was an evil hoax played on my mother.
Sheraton and Brian have become victims of a federal crime known as virtual kidnapping.
Things are not always what they seem. In most cases, a virtual kidnapping involves just a simple phone call to a victim. It seems like somebody has been taken against their will and being held as a hostage, when in fact, it's an extortion scheme. It's an extremely emotional event. It's difficult for people to deal with.
The term virtual kidnapping, this was a phenomenon that I'd never heard of before.
Prior to 2016, I had no idea what a virtual kidnapping was.
When you get a call and there's a child's voice on the phone and they're calling you mommy, I believed in my heart that this was my daughter.
If my wife is being taken and I hear a female, my brain would automatically believe that I'm hearing my wife.
For someone who has to deal with that by themselves, that's got to be really tragic because you're trying to figure out if they really do have your kid and you don't have a second party to go do any verification. So you're kind of at the mercy of that person.
During that time, things can be very confusing. You just don't know what you would do. You don't know how you will respond. That was them giving me proof of life that she was actually there with the kidnapper.
Some would say, well, why did she go to the ATM? Why did she go get the money? Well, you don't know. You don't know what's real. You don't know if it's fake. And that's not something you want to play with.
Earlier, Brian had raced to the gymnasium where Cameron had supposedly been abducted as soon as he got Sheraton's cryptic text.
I'm driving, and so I exit the freeway and I look over and the parking lot is empty. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm expecting to see cops and detectives and helicopters and all that kind of stuff going on, and it's empty. So I pull in and I kind of look around and I get out the car and I knock on the door of the gym because they keep the doors locked. And so I knocked on the door. The coach finally came to the door and she says, "What's up?" I says, "Cameron here." She said, "Yeah, you wanna go get her?" I said, "No, leave her here. I was just checking." She said, "Is everything okay?" I said, I'll talk to you later. Everything's fine, just let her keep going. We went back to her place and that's when we called the police.